how's everyone doing? It's Leah, Benefits of Education Advocate, and I'm here to create a smooth transition from education into career destination. Today I'm here to answer a question that came from Judithiana. Sorry if I didn't mention your name or correctly, but yeah, thank you for sending in a question. How do you deal with not knowing what's to come out of your actions, especially when you know that you're doing something, you're working hard, but you have no experience? How do you deal with not knowing what's to come out? You know you've invested so much energy, you've invested so much money, you've invested your thoughts and everything. How do you deal with the fact that you don't know what the outcome is going to be? Number one thing that I've done or I've tried to do every time I'm answering a question, I avoid going into websites or going into internet basically and find what other people are doing, because I'm gonna come here and then tell you what they do. So I avoid that. Everything that I say or everything that I give you is what I would do or something straight from my mind, because I believe that God gave everyone, each of us, an individual mind, and everybody is capable of coming up with something special, unique and different, and something that could probably solve a mystery, something that the world has been looking for such a long time. So to those of you that are asking me where I get my stuff, it's all from my head. I do not go into books, I do not go into it's all from my head. So back to the question, how do you deal with not knowing what's to come out of your efforts? Now, I understand, or what I understood, or what I believe, that you want to start something so bad and you probably want it to succeed, but you don't know whether it's going to succeed or it's going to fail. And just dealing with the fact that you don't know what's to come out is making you go crazy, and it's probably making you make a decision that I don't think I can start, for example, a business if I don't know if it's going to succeed or fail. Just thinking about the fact that I don't know what's to come out of it, it's making me feel like, okay, I'm not going to do it. Before I give you an answer or give you what I do, my first advice: allow success to be a surprise, to catch you by surprise, because in this world that we live in, there is nothing guaranteed, because everything that people have done and succeeded, they weren't sure, they just did it because they wanted to do it and it happened, so they're successful, so they did it over and over again and they're happy with it. Even something that you've done once and it succeeded, you're not guaranteed that the next time you do it, it's going to work. So do not concentrate so much on what people are going to say about what you're doing, but concentrate on what you're doing, and then think about what comes out later. I know probably somebody's gonna come back to me and say, how do you even do something without thinking about what you're getting out? What's the point? No, the reason why you don't have to concentrate so much is because sometimes, or most times, people spend the majority of their time that they would have spent on the project, they spend it into research. Research is a very good thing and should be done first, but believe me or not, it's not everything you need to go and do so much thorough research, because an answer is within you. An answer is within your head, your mind. You're the one that has an answer. Everybody else has done things their way and they've succeeded to a certain level. How do you know that if you use your own mind and go ahead and do something, that you're probably going to pass the success that you're after all that you've ever seen people achieve? So one thing, do not spend so much into that. Now, the second reason why I said do not spend so much time trying to figure, let me do this, let me use this formula, let me use the other or the other, whatever and whatnot. Sometimes people that are successful, probably during the time of doing something, they did it and they used whatever was available in order to get the results they got. Especially the world that we're in, technology is just up and up and up every time. People who did things back then, they did not have what we had, but they were successful. That means if you're to do something and you're going to go back and look at what they've done, you're going to ignore the current technology, the current things that you could use to be even more successful, and then concentrate on theirs. So hence the reason I'm saying, do not spend so much time in that. In spending so much time in research, some people end up giving up. Why? Because you find that people use, for example, some people have so much money that they could use everything they want to use in order to bring out a product. You could be someone who wants to start, but you do not have the money that they have. If you don't have the capital that they had, does that mean that you're going to give up? Of course, if you go and research and see that in order for them to do what they did, they had so much money, you're going to end up giving up. So why in the first place try and go around and, bring this, try the other? Just go ahead and do it with what you have. This is dealing with not knowing the outcome. Is literally go ahead and do it. Allow success to catch you by surprise. Always trust your instincts and go ahead and do it. Number 2, be careful of who you speak to, because some people, not everybody will trust you. Not everybody will trust what you think, regardless of it's true or wrong or right, whatever. Some people won't even trust you. So before you go ahead and speak to people about what you're about to do, again, this is part of research, wasting time speaking to wrong people, they're going to hinder you from doing what you're about to do, because first of all, they'll say, I don't think you can do that. No. You have to have so and so and so and so in order to do it. You have to do this and that in order to do it. Or some people will be like, nah, I'm not interested. And that alone, giving you that kind of not interested attitude, could probably say, why? Maybe what I'm doing is not for people. Why are they not interested just like that? Yeah, I'm doing it to serve people. I know someone is going to come to me and say, but Leah, you need to think about what you're doing. Is people going to need it? Not everything is good for everybody. So you need to know and say, you know what? I know my kind of target audience. So try, even during the time you're trying to do something, try and speak to people you're trying to target. But even in those people, there will be those that won't be interested, because some people believe in an iPhone 7s or whatever after they see what it can do. But when iPhone comes up and say we're about to bring up one, they'll be whatever. They'll just leave it and they won't care. They won't pay much attention because they haven't seen what they're talking about. They don't know if it would even work. They don't care. They have things to do. Hence the reason why, if there's people are going to do these phones, they just go ahead and bring them and then put it out there, and then we say, oh wow, it actually works. Or we say, oh my goodness, this is not good. But then what's not good for you, it will be good for somebody else. So do not speak to everybody about what you're doing, because they're going to cause more stress. You're going to be more stressed. This is dealing with not knowing what's to come out. And in the process, I'm saying, expect surprises, or allow surprises, or allow success to catch you by surprise. Be careful who you speak to. Be careful how you position yourself. Even though you don't speak, some people don't speak, but be careful the places you go to. Do you understand? As in, you could be trying to be, let's say, random example. Could be, you want to be one of the most successful or the most holiest pastors, whatever. And all the time you're trying to make it happen, but you're among the people who steal, you're among the people who go to the clubs, you're among the people who do all the things that you shouldn't do because you have something that you're after, or you're trying to aim. Then you're not helping your dream. You're not helping, thinking, oh my God, it's gonna go wrong, because you're doing things to make it wrong. So avoid doing things that are actually leading you to the wrong platform, because that gives you straight away instincts that, you know what, it's gonna fail. So allow success to catch you by surprise. In fact, things that come when you don't know, sometimes you enjoy even more, because you're like, wow, I did not expect this bunch of flowers, but they're in. But if you know someone is coming to bring you, a banquet of flowers, whatever, you're gonna be thinking, oh my god, okay, let me now. You're gonna spend time trying to prepare, where you're going to put them, trying to prepare how they're going to look, trying to spend all this time trying to prepare for something. But what if they don't come? Your time is wasted. But it just leave it. If it comes, deal with it. If it's not there, keep moving. That's what I mean. Keep moving. Position yourself. Avoid doing things that are leading you the wrong direction to what you're trying to do, if you know what I mean. Take opportunities. Present what you're doing, as in, okay, I just said don't talk to anybody or speak to anybody. But when you get a platform to present what you do it. Whatever, do it. Because then why you doing it, that's when people are going to know what you're doing, whether it's good or bad, and then you know. Then you avoid thinking about, oh my god, what's going to come out, because you're doing it, people are seeing it, and the result is right in front of you already. So just do it in the right time. I hope I've answered this correctly and rightly, but this is what I would do, and this is what I think about. One thing that I forgot: manage your time wisely. That's one thing that I've kind of failed to do at many occasions, and where I've applied that principle of managing time wisely when I'm trying to achieve something, it has worked well, because I'm doing things in the right time. But when I kind of ignore time management, and yet I'm thinking about, oh my god, how is it going to come out? Still, it takes you back to the fact that I'm doing things that are on the wrong direction from what I'm trying to achieve. Because time means you probably, if you do things when you have to do them and avoid procrastinating, it means if you finish so early, you can then look through and say, okay, right, maybe I've got a chance to redo it in case it doesn't happen. Another thing, if you do something wrong along the way, try so hard and avoid dwelling on the past or dwelling on what you've done wrong, especially if you know that you cannot rectify it, if you know that you cannot reverse what you've done wrong. Instead of dwelling on that and then say, oh no, because I did this, I know what's going to come out is going to be so bad. No, that is so wrong, because you're going to give up. You're not going to reach there anyway. You're going to give up because you know what you're doing is already not going to work because you did something wrong. Look at it and say, okay, I've done this wrong, whatever. Sorry to those that are affected, but I gotta keep moving. I'm gonna go, and anything else will find me there. I'm not gonna sit here and say, okay, I'll give you an example. I'm an employer and I'm an employee as well. But where I'm doing, because the things I do in my own organization, I love so much that I put in so much effort, everything I do that. But then the things I do at the other organization, or when I work for somebody, it's because I don't put in my effort so much, which is so wrong. And then I get up sometimes getting even the smaller, the simpler things wrong. And then the people around me dwell on that, or I personally dwell on that. And what happens? My confidence decreases because I've done one thing wrong, because I did not pay attention, or I did not put in effort, or whatever reason, which I said avoid what's putting you off what you're doing. So the people around me will concentrate on the fact that I've done something wrong. I'll concentrate on that. If I don't get up, they'll forever think, you know what, that's Leah, that's how she does things, and she'll never get anywhere anyway. Sometimes I let them think like that because I ain't got time to waste dealing with people that see people below all the time. So I leave them like that because I know I'm going somewhere. I know I'm doing something, and I know that's not my destination. I have to keep on moving. But in my head, I know I did something wrong. I'll rectify it, so keep moving. So do not dwell on the past, especially if you cannot change it there and then. If you can't change it, and keep moving. One more last thing, sorry, points keep on coming. Like I said, I don't write things, I don't read things, but they keep on coming. If along the way you do something and someone comes and perhaps looks at what you do and sort of mention or say something that seems like that could make a change or that could make a difference, try it. Don't be afraid of trying out things. Try it and see how it happens. And if if it works basically, or if whatever they said works, or whatever advice they gave you works, do not be scared of going back to that person and appreciate them. Appreciate that, you know what, because of what you've done, I think I'm on the right track. Because then what you're going to do, you are encouraging that person to encourage you and to continue bringing in bright ideas on your idea, which means you will not be thinking about the fact that, oh, it's not gonna work, it's gonna fail, because someone else is seeing something that you see, someone else is contributing and working towards that. So appreciate what others do in your life or in your project, whatever, and encourage them to continue, which means you're not gonna be the only one worried. Because I tell you what, guys, before I finish, sometimes when you're working on something by yourself and then you think you're moving, it's not moving, you're trying this, it's not working, you're doing this, ain't working, without anybody else saying that, you know what, Leah, we can do this, we can try this, without having that person around you, if you're not careful, or if you're not big strong-headed like I am when it comes to business, you're probably gonna give up. So do not give that chance for you to start. Do not give yourself that chance of thinking about, oh my god, I'm actually gonna fail, or blah blah blah. Do not. Literally just go ahead and do what is right. Thank you so much for listening, guys. It's been a long time since I recorded a video, but it's because I'm busy doing something in the background that is going to help the Benefits of Education project move forward and to help many. Thank you so much for watching. Be blessed, Leah. Thank you.